Hello there everybody, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, the channel where we are learning more about nature by playing games. Now, I know we did say that we are going to do a Small Land Survive the Wilds episode today, but we are going to be playing Dinkum, and it's not just me, it is also Nick joining us.
Hello everyone.
So it's Will and Nick in Dinkum, and we are going to jump right in. Nick will be hosting the game, and I will be joining her town. Now, we have just played through the first section of the game now. Now, we've played it before, we love playing it, and she has gotten up to the point where she gets the first visitor to establish on the little island, and I have also gotten my world up to that point, and that is now where we are going to go and join the multiplayer game set up by Nick. Alright, and in we go, and starting up, we have just arrived with our little suitcase over here, just going to take out the things that I have brought with me. I've brought some valuable stuff with me, as well as a few dinks, or the money. Okay, so this is the site, this is our little island. Hey Nick!
Hi.
How's it going?
I'm good. I just need to get a few planks, then we can build our shop.
Oh, marvelous, marvelous. So, this is, well, you basically start with nothing, and then your little character, whatever you call it, will set up this base tent. Then you'll have your own little tent as well. That'll be this little tent right over here. This is the point, or this is the place where we can actually sleep. And as you can see, it is really, really fanciful. So we've got an ammonite shell that Nick dug up as she was digging around in the dirt, in the rocks, and a sleeping bag. We also need to get our own sleeping bag, but we'll do that in a moment. The map, each island you make will be unique, and we are almost smack bam in the middle. Now, Nick, you did say that there are some interesting things around here, eh?
Indeed, some dangerous things as well.
I think they should be right over... Yeah, there we go. There's Mr.
One
Tooth.
sleeping
Hello,
right
Toothy.
at the back of our tent there.
Okay.
There's one.
Yeah, that's a Tasmanian devil supposed to be. They call it something else. I can't remember what they call it in the game here, but it's all based on, organisms that do exist. So we've got the Tasmanian devils there, a type of marsupial, another marsupial, or not actually a marsupial here. This is the monotreme, the echidna, also in the game just called kidnas. We've got dingoes rolling around, or being rolled around by the echidnas over there.
It's a roly-poly.
Killed by the mammalian roly-poly, yes. And then we also have some kangaroos, which are hopping around, but these are not your average run-of-the-mill kangaroos. These ones have horns, so they are they call them jackaroos, basically from the jackalope of North America. Which is not the real creature, that is a fake one. And then the kangaroo, of course, a little portmanteau between jackalope and kangaroo. Yeah, so we're going to be looking at all these creatures. Oh, and there's a frilled lizard, of course, also running around, or a frilly, as it is called in the game. And we are going to be looking at this as we go along as well. But for now, Nick, you said we had to go and get some planks, right?
I got some.
Oh, you did?
Got
Okay.
some planks, gonna saw them up.
Okay, marvelous. I see you've got your bandsaw over there. I'll just put my bandsaw here with yours so that we can work at double the speed.
Yeah, you feel free to change up some layout of stuff that I've put down.
Okay. No, I will do if necessary. Also going to put in the 2 furnaces that I have brought from my little world. And then to cook food, we also have a barbecue grill. I'm just going to set that up here as well. Right.
Right, so tomorrow we will start building the shop.
Okay, marvelous. Okay, so I'm just going to grab a little sleeping bag here.
Did you see the Tasmanian devil right at the back of our tent?
I only saw the one that was between the rocks there. Oh, there's one up here as well.
Right up there. So we're gonna make some good money.
Oh, yes. So,
selling these guys.
if you've never played this game, the best way to make money is legal poaching, as I like to call it. So quite bad for an ecologist to start on the first episode of a game and say the way he's going to make money is through poaching.
Don't try this at home, kids.
Yeah, don't do this. Don't do that. It's bad. But the way it works, apparently, is that what happens is that the animals you catch are actually taken to a wildlife research facility. They are, I'm not sure whether they're experimented on, but they are kept there and then they are released again back into the wild. So maybe they are actually just testing to see whether the animals are healthy or diseased or what's happening with population. Either way, it's, apparently it is released back in the wild, which makes sense because after a day or two, they do tend to pop up again at the same place. So this is the little shop, the little visitors area. So when you start the game, you can build this little visitors area. And then John, the first guy over here, will actually come in and you will be able to trade with him. You'll be able to sell some goods. So I've got some meat. Let's go sell that. Let's sell the cooked cactus fig and get a little bit of money. Okay, so that's going to just push us over 20,000, 21,000. There we go. And you can also buy tools from him. Now, the way this game works is you need to get permits for every single thing you do, much like in real life. And in South Africa, we are very well trained in the fact that you've got to have a permit for every single thing you do. So if you want to mine, you need a permit for that. You want to chop down a tree, you need a permit for that. You want to dig a hole in the ground, you need a permit for that. Basically, permit all the way. Okay. Now I've got the permits I currently have. I've got the license to mine and I've got the license to log. I do not have a license to kill though. We're going to get the hunting license in a bit. Let's see, where is Nick? Nick is running around on the other side of the river there. Hello there, Nick.
Hello, I'm just taking a swim. I found a harlequin butterfly.
You found a harlequin butterfly? Well, that's cool. Okay, so the harlequin butterfly is quite brightly colored. Orangish, blackish and white in color. That harlequin butterfly over there, the orangish, blackish and whitish color is usually what we call a aposematic coloration, indicating that it is a poisonous species. However, in this case, I don't think the harlequin is actually poisonous. I think it is just mimicking other more poisonous species. So this may be a case of Batesian mimicry, which is when a palatable or non-poisonous species actually looks like and acts like a poisonous species. That's quite cool.
I'll eat it and we'll check.
Okay, I don't think you can eat the butterflies though. Nope,
Oh, no.
You can just toss it down onto the ground. Put it in a little container. Now, when we actually have John with his little town set up, or his little shop, this is his permanent shop. Apparently he will also live in the back of the shop because, I don't know, he doesn't actually build a house here. But anyway, once John is permanently settled in, we should be able to get another visitor coming into this visitor spot over here. And I think it's going to be Theodore, actually. So we're going to have a museum in here as well, which will be quite cool. Okay, so you've got a little storage box going there. That's great.
For all the green stuff.
All the green stuff. Okay, so all the plants and the ganja and all those things will be in there.
Not that green stuff.
Not that green stuff. Okay. For now, we don't have
Technology.
ganja in the game. I'm sure we'll get. So as you can see here, if I go and talk to the little granny over here, Fletch, I'll be able to unlock a whole bunch of licenses. And I've got the level 1 for mining and logging, but as I do more mining and logging, I level those skills up. And then when I get level 8 or 10, I believe, I'll be able to upgrade to level 2 mining or level 2 logging. You'll get level 2 licenses for those. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to definitely buy the excavation license so I can also dig around in the dirt.
Or plant some trees, that's what I do.
Yes, and that's very important, the planting of trees. We are conservationists after all. And
Yes.
in line of that, I'm also going to get the hunting license.
Have to have balance.
Yes, perfectly balanced. And that's because we can have the basic spear, and there are lots of dangerous things that do want to eat us. Things like crocodiles and the bush devils. That's what they're called. The Tasmanian devils are called bush devils in the game.
Oh, yes.
So if we go in here, we can see that we need 1 gumwood plank and 1 tin bar, and we can actually make a basic spear then. So we're just going to go and chop down a eucalyptus tree. Right, so we've got basic biomes. We've got currently here, the biome we are in would be the shrublands. This is where you'll find generally your eucalyptus trees growing, characterized by the yellowish grasses. We also then have the more tropical areas, which is way up here, the lighter green grass. There you'll find things like bananas and kwandong and all kinds of interesting fruits. And then the tropical areas, which is down here, is where you'll find your bush devils, your Tasmanian devils, as well as conifer trees and apple trees and those types of things. So each biome has got its own ecosystem. And all along the river here, you'll have your mangrove trees. There's a billabong over there. We'll definitely talk about the billabong and how it came to be at some point as well. Actually, there's not a billabong
oh no,
coming.
here
What have
comes
you
the
got?
Tasmanian.
Oh no, okay, just keep running. Okay, you're hiding. Okay, it has gone back to sleep.
Okay.
The Tasmanian devils, like the bush devils in this game, are nocturnal, so they do run around at night. So the moment we are actually more active at night, we are in for a world of pain.
Yes, because I set up camp right next to danger.
Well, we are in a nice centralized area, and that is perfect. I'm just going to mark this area, just so I know where to run to actually go and chop down a eucalyptus. And Nick is currently busy over there planting apple trees, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Dig a hole, plant a whole apple, and you'll get an apple tree growing. The thing is, if you actually do that in real life, though, you're not going to get a nice, juicy apple by planting an apple seed. As wonderful as it may sound, unfortunately, fruit trees like apples and avocados and all those types of fruits, most of them at least, are not what we call true to type. Meaning that if you plant a nice, juicy, golden delicious apple, you're not going to get a golden delicious bearing tree. You're actually just going to get a wilder variety of apple. Maybe tasty or may just be horrible in taste. Ooh, I think I've got the redback spider over here.
And what's sad about that is it's not like you're planting a little plant, it's a tree. So you have to wait a few years just to find out that it's not edible fruit.
Yeah, so the whole time you tend to wait and wait and wait, and then you find out, oh man, it doesn't have nice fruit. So it's a bit of a gamble. Sometimes you have amazing trees. Like I know with avocados, you've got I think a 1 in 10,000 chance of actually having the most delicious avocados. But you're not going to get the same avos as you did from the parent tree, unfortunately, which really sucks. It was quite a bummer to find that out.
What are you up to?
Oh, I am just running around. I'm going to catch a funnel web spider, which is a deadly species of spider. There we go. This is, of course, the infamous the funnel web spider that you get, the Sydney funnel web spider, but it is quite a venomous species of spider, and it's family of the baboon spiders we've got in South Africa, or the tarantulas from South and Central America. So it's related to them in the Mygalomorpha group, which have got forward-facing fangs. They're quite characteristic, and most species in the Mygalomorpha are not that deadly, but the Sydney funnel web spider, yeah, that is not one you do want to be messing with. I'm actually on my way home again. I'm also catching a harlequin butterfly over here. There we go, we can have a good look there at the bright orange, black and white color, contrasting colors, which is a nice little aposematic coloration there. Okay, I'm actually going to be making us some spears now.
Awesome.
You don't have a spear yet, eh?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm going to be making us some spears so that we can defend ourselves a little bit. We don't have armor in this game. It's really a case of you have to do your best to stay alive.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a planting everything addiction in this game.
Oh, that's fine. It makes it nice and beautiful.
I love to beautify things.
Yes, you do. Okay, so I'm just going to... Okay, I'm going to just come here.
Is it a crocodile?
Yeah, there's a crocodile. I'm not sure whether they are saltwater or freshwater crocodiles. I always thought that Australia just has the saltwater crocodiles. And then only a few years back realized that, oh, they actually have freshwater crocodiles as well. And they can more or less both occur in the same area. So both of them can occur in freshwater, but the saltwater crocodile is, of course, famous for the fact that they can also go into the ocean. So no matter where you go, you can always be chased by a nice little crocodile. I'm going to just plant some eucalyptus trees, and the foresters in South Africa are going to rejoice when they hear that.
So, what do you think of my disguise? Do I blend in?
I think so. I think you blend in marvelously with the local wildlife. I may just accidentally end up stabbing you, so do be careful in my general vicinity.
Do you stab bunnies?
Food is food, my dear. Stabby, stabby. Thankfully, friendly fire is not a thing in this game, but stab, 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 stab.
So mean.
So, everything is put in here, right? All material is in there. Okay, so tomorrow, for the next 2 days, this shop is going to be built.
And we need to make the funds to pay off the debt.
Oh, yes, it's 75,000 to set up this first little shop, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we need to get a lot of money, and I'm going to get some money here by selling all the invertebrates that I've caught to John.
I'll start fishing.
Okay, you're going to start fishing. Great. That is a marvelous income as well. John over here, I think he just is dealing in all these little invertebrates. We are accidentally fueling the trade, the illegal trade in pets in the wildlife. But we're just going to, for now, look the other way. Typical starting out way. Exploit nature, and then later on you're going to live in harmony with nature. Okay, so I'm just going to pop in here to Auntie Fletch, and we're just going to donate 20,000 to pay off the debt. So we've got 54,000 left to pay off.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Not bad. So I can craft us some bridges.
Okay, that'll be great. That'll be nice and easy to get over the water for now.
Yeah.
I think I see you're a little bit tired there, dear.
Yes.
Yes,
I am,
like
indeed.
exhausted. Looking
get
like
me down.
life is a real chore at the moment. Yep, yeah, that's the face of someone that has had enough of life.
Yeah.
Nice, building nice little paths for us, just so that the whole place looks fancy pants.
Yes, I am the beauty maker.
Yes, you are. You are the interior and exterior decorator.
I'm the house bunny.
And the house bunny, yes. And apparently the very sleepy house bunny. Yes, eat some of those, dear.
Ooh, now everything is nice and colorful again.
Hey, looking
Here's
a
your
little
food
bit
back.
more awake there. I'll take some. I'm going to sell that later to Johnny Boy, but tomorrow. I think I need to actually go and mine a bunch of stuff, and I'll probably just end up mining the rocks here just to get my mining up, so that I can get a better pickaxe. You're going to be fishing, yeah?
Yeah.
I see so.
I'll tell you what I catch.
Okay. Oh, there's a shiny rock here. We don't have a grinder yet, do we?
No.
Oh, is that we can only buy once John has actually set up shop. So this game, quite nice. You only really have to worry about your health and your energy. You do not die in this game either if you pass out, so if you run out of energy, or if you have 0 hit points left, you pass out and you respawn at your tent or at your bed that you slept. The thing is that your tools that you have will lose durability and will eventually be useless. One hit and it breaks. So you do not want to accidentally pass out.
I caught a river bass.
Oh, you got a river bass. Oh, wonderful. I'm not sure actually whether this is a species indigenous to Australia. It could be that it is actually some kind of exotic species that has been introduced. Bass overall can be very invasive. In South Africa, we've got, I think, 3 species of bass that are invasive. 2 of them are more invasive than others, or than the other one. We've got the largemouth bass and the smallmouth bass, but I think we also have the spotted bass in South Africa, which is also potentially invasive. That's a carp, eh?
Carp, yes.
Yeah, carp, also an exotic from Asia in this case. Introduced into rivers and dams and things like that, along with the bass as well. Both of them are introduced into ecosystems where they do not belong because people like fishing. And if there are not a lot of fish to actually catch, people tend to introduce a whole bunch of exotics, which can then alter the ecosystem quite a bit.
That's terrible, actually.
It really, really is. So the bass, like the one you've got caught there, they are actually predators, so they will be eating all the indigenous species like the barcoo grunter and things like that that are in the game here. And then the carp will stir up sediments because they are bottom feeders. They actually stir up the sediments, making the water more murky, and predators like the bass then have an easier time actually catching the indigenous fish species. So yeah, quite bad the impact they have on the environment. And yet people still bring them in.
Still bring them in.
Yeah, in many areas. I know for a fact that in some areas, you'll take out all the individuals of a certain species, and then given enough time, someone has reintroduced it into that system, into that ecosystem, that river or dam.
Jungle perch sounds Australian.
Yeah, I think the jungle perch is actually an indigenous species to Australia, or species that is indigenous to that area. You can see there, I was actually very, very black and white, the color there. That just meant that my stamina was running low. I just had to eat some cooked prickly pear, which is also an exotic to Australia. Comes from South and Central America, the Opuntia species, or the prickly pears. So if in the Jungle Book as well, Baloo does sing about something about the prickly pear. Also not indigenous to Asia, comes from South or Central America. And in fact, all cactus species will come from there except for one. There is one rope cactus species which is actually indigenous to Africa and Asia. The rest all come from South and Central America. And again, introduced by people. And because they can in some cases be very spiny, very few animals will actually eat them, and they tend to invade quite easily as well. I think we're going to be talking a lot about invasive species, because there's actually a butterfly in this game as well that is an exotic.
Is it?
Yeah. Can you guess which one it is?
Is it one of the common ones that we...
No, it's not one of the common ones.
Huh. The Jezebel.
Not the Jezebel. That one is actually indigenous to Australia. The Scarlet Jezebel. We are going to be seeing all those butterflies that we are mentioning here. They are quite... They only pop up in springtime, I believe.
I think I have one with me. I do have one.
No, the invasive one only pops up in spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's going to be a case of, ooh, what is that one? Just organizing my inventory there, and I'm going to be planting us some palm trees here as well.
Awesome, yeah.
Just a little scattered all over the place, so it looks like it should be growing here, even though the ground is definitely not suitable for palm trees. Just plant one over here.
I planted some next to our house as well.
Oh yes. You see, you are planting it in nice little organized areas.
Yes.
I just go all willy-nilly. There's a reason my name is Will. I go plant things willy-nilly.
Yeah.
All over the place.
I like stuff that's neat, you know that.
Yes, and I am the Chaos Goblin.
Yes.
I shall put things everywhere. And catch all the insects. Little pygmy fly, which is not a fly. That is actually a dragonfly. So you'll see the little darker dots on the wings there, on the front and the hind wings there. I'm not sure whether it actually has it on the hind wings as well. I think those are called this pterostyles or something along those lines. They actually help the dragonfly balance when flying and making quick turns and stuff. It has to do with flight control. So there's a reason there are little darker dots on the wings of dragonflies. We'll have a look at them again at some point. But yeah, all modern dragonflies have that. The extinct griffin flies, as they are called, did not have those. The Meganeura, like the ones we see in Ark, those ones did not have the pterostyle.
So these gum trees.
Yes, the eucalyptus.
Eucalyptus. It's so funny, because even in the game I'm struggling to like them. Because they're so invasive here in our area.
Yeah,
and in our country.
Yeah, here in South Africa they've obviously been introduced for the timber industry, because they've got a very nice resilient wood, which is marvelous if you want to build or if you want to have telephone poles or anything along those lines. Very, very resilient, or resistant to insects actually, not resilient, resistant to insect damage. And they've been introduced, and unfortunately, as with the bass and the carp and all those other exotic species, they have taken over large parts of the country, and they do take over and displace the natural vegetation quite a bit in many areas.
And they just look out of place.
Yeah, they do. But the thing is, they have been placed, or they have been planted in many areas because they are so adaptable and they can survive in very, very dry conditions as well. They do not need a lot of water to survive. But they do something weird, and we'll talk about that in a different time. But they actually create little deserts around them, and there's a reason why they do that, but that we will have to leave for another time. Oh, there are some cassowaries over here as well.
Oh, and bananas. We need to get those
and bananas. Okay, I'm going to grab the bananas from the cassowaries. They are probably going to chase me now.
They're sleeping.
No, they are sleeping, but if you go too close to them, they will wake up. But I have grabbed 2 bananas. That's great. In the game here, they're not called cassowaries. They are called wary moos. And that's because, well, you have to be wary of the wary moos.
They're very aggressive.
They are very aggressive. They will attack you on sight if they are awake. So, yeah, we have been chased many, many times by them. And that's also probably the species that we have caught or trapped most frequently of all species.
Do you have something killed the crocodile?
Oh, I wonder whether it was the dingoes.
Maybe.
The dingoes killed them because oh no! You know what? There is a Tasmanian devil that is awake and has just set the crocodile on fire.
Oops! It's nighttime. Yes.
It is now. It's after sunset. So as you can see, the bush devils over here capable of actually breathing fire, which last time I checked, Tasmanian devils are not able to do. But anyway, this game has got some fictional little additions to the animals as well, like the kangaroo or the jackaroo. They've got horns, and the bush devils can breathe fire. Yeah, because why not? The crafting in this game, we start out with very few recipes. You can see here we've gotten these 3 recipes based on the fact that we now have got the hunting, or I've got the hunting license, so we can make some weapons. As you get other licenses, you are then able to create more paths like Nic has done here. You can make railings, you can make bridges, you can build all kinds of things. All kinds of things that mostly are there to make it beautiful.
I'm enjoying the second saw.
Oh yes, the second saw is marvelous. It's useful to have as many of these things as you possibly can and can use. Once we have the second grill, it's also just going to make life so much nicer.
Yeah.
Double the speed to do everything.
Okay, where do you want the first bridge?
The first bridge, I think, should go across in the direction that Johnny Boy is steering.
Okay, let's see.
When you come out, you'll see he's staring into the middle distance.
This way.
That way, yes. The way he was staring, not the way he is currently staring at his tent.
Is it fine here where I built it?
Yeah.
It's a bit out of the way, but oh well.
That's fine. That works. We'll just fill this up with some sand if we can.
Yes.
And then we'll hopefully be able to travel quite easily. Yeah, that's fine. Perfectly fine.
We can make some of our quarries on this side. We can build more bridges.
Yes, we can build more bridges. We can have a whole island of bridges.
Yes.
Less bridges. For those of you not from South Africa, that was a singer in the 1980s, I believe it was. Died many a moon ago.
It means bold bridges.
Like receding hairline bridges.
Blessed bridges.
Yeah. I'm just cooking a whole bunch of prickly pears. Now prickly pears, of course, or as it's called here, cactus figs, are of course covered by very, very small spines, which are really, really irritating. I have very rarely in my life actually eaten prickly pears. Love, do you eat prickly pears?
Prickly pear.
Turksvee.
Yes, I think once or twice.
Okay.
Not such a big fan.
Yeah.
I think my sister loves them a lot.
Is it? In Afrikaans we call them Turksvee, which means Turkish fig, which is such a bad name because it doesn't come from Turkey, nor do turkeys eat them.
It's nowhere near a fig.
Nor is it actually a fig. It's like, okay, why on earth do we call it this? But yeah, I very, very rarely in my life have actually eaten prickly pears. I think I've tasted it like once, but the spines do take it off, put me off it. But there is a way, I believe, that you can actually get rid of it. There's a plant in South Africa that you can set alight, and it actually burns at a low temperature, and you can use that to burn the spines off without it actually damaging the fruit. All right.
Shall we sleep?
I think we shall sleep, and I think that is also where we are going to be calling it a day for now. So we actually made quite a bit of progress.
Did we really?
Yes, we did.
Aww.
So, from Nic and Will, everybody, thank you for tuning in today's little first episode. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of the episode, if you enjoyed it, and then we will see you guys next week, hopefully for another episode of Dinkum.
Another Australian adventure.
Yes, another little adventure down south. So until next time, everybody, from Will
and Nic.
See you next time. Stay safe, everybody.